Every 6 years, an ancient order of Jiu Jitsu fighters joins forces to battle a vicious race of alien invaders. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing Jiu Jitsu that came out last year. This stars Nicolas Cage, and it is currently number 6 on Netflix's top 10 list. So, this film is based on a 2017 comic book called Jiu Jitsu, so it's the same name. I have never read the comic book or seen anything of it. Excuse me, so I can't really comment on that. But the movie opens up with a guy running through a jungle while dodging throwing stars, and then he comes to a cliff. And as he's about to jump, he gets hit and falls off the cliff. So this opening scene comes like right after we get like some comic book art that's animated about a comet coming towards Earth, things like that. And really, the opening episode, the scene was just this guy running, and he's not even really trying to dodge these throwing stars. So I don't know if whatever was throwing him in the beginning just wanted him to keep running, but it was really kind of weird. And honestly, this is like, I think, 102 minutes long, so it's like an hour and 40 minutes long. And in the first 25 to like 40 minutes of the movie, we get like just a real quick brief explanation of like what's happening. That, like about the comet coming every 6 years, and then an alien comes through a portal to fight Jiu Jitsu warriors. And this is like after we see the guy from the beginning get rescued and taken to a U.S. Base that's not even like a real army base. So I was kind of confused about all of that. And we eventually learn that the aliens came like 2,000 years ago and gave people jujitsu so that way they could have some, people to fight. So I'm not really sure, again, why aliens would do that. But as the movie progresses, we find out that the guy from the beginning is Jake. I like Jake from State Farm. That's what I was saying like the whole time I was watching the movie, because I really couldn't follow it. It was that hard. I was like, oh, Jake from State Farm is going to fight an alien and save the world. I'm like, sweet. Thank you, Jake from State Farm. And, and he has to, basically he's the chosen one to fight this alien. And, we do eventually meet Nicolas Cage for a second time. The first time is when the guy fell into the water and he was rescued. One of the guys who rescued him was Nicolas Cage. And he ends up helping Jack to be able to, like, prepare to fight this alien. And we get, like, at least 2 more explanations of stuff. At least 1 to 2 of what's going on and why the alien's here. And I believe the alien was called Brack. So we get more of a full story about, like, the 2,000 years ago through pictures and through people talking. And it is subtitled for a bit of it as well. So this was a low budget film, and you could really see it. The effects in this were just really not good. Like, the comet alone in the sky really looked generic, and it was really slow moving. We do, like, at one point too get Jake wearing, and this is even before we learn his name. He ends up wearing a camera on his head, so it's like a first-person view of him punching and kicking, and then all of a sudden, everything slows down, and he gives the camera to a camera guy who's sitting on the ground so he can do a couple of moves where it shows his whole body, and then he takes the camera back. So it was real jittery and stuff, and plus you can see, like, camera guys running, and it was all, like, shaky, which I thought it was wasn't very good at all. And there were quite a few scenes where they used, like, slow-mo shots, where they slowed everything down for fights. And that really highlighted how bad the choreography was in this. Like the scenes where they didn't use it, there was a lot of like hesitation for punches and kicks, and it looked really slowly done too, where the guy was like, "Oh, I'm going to eventually punch you, but I'm going to do it really slow because I'm not really sure how to do it, make it look fast, and yeah, it was like the fight scenes were just, yeah, they really weren't good. And like the firefight scenes too, it was, you know, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. They literally walk up, point the gun right at the guy, and then start shooting, but all the bullets miss. And he's like not even moving, so it was really weird. I can't say like all the fight scenes were really that bad, but they weren't really well done at all. And again, the camera work in this, it started to improve a little bit towards the middle end of the movie, but it was still bad. The acting in this overall was bad as well. We see that Jake has like amnesia, so he's constantly amazed at the different stuff he can do, and it's, and these group of people who find him keep saying Jake to him, like he's supposed to remember anything if you say his name like 10 times to him in a row. So it was really like the dialogue in this really wasn't that good. There were some good moments for the dialogue, but very, very few and far between. I'm not even going to lie. The best part about this movie, honestly, was Nicolas Cage. His lines and acting were actually better than the others. Lines and acting, but not by much. This was not a good portrayal of his acting. I mean, he's been fantastic. Like, this performance is far from his performance in Gone in 60 Seconds days. You know what I mean? It just, even some of his fight scenes were slow. Like when he first meets Jake and has to, and he starts to fight him. Like that whole thing was just slow. Like all the movements were slow. He even gets to fight the alien at one point, and like a lot of that was slow. A lot of it was fast as well. But you can really tell that they were really trying to do the stunts, and it was, like properly almost, I want to say, but it was just like really slow. Like they would be bending an arm, and it's just like, are you going to take your time, or are you going to be like, snap, let's keep going, a little bit faster. So it was very, it was very, very bad overall for the choreography and the stunt work. For basically the first 40 minutes of this movie, like I had no clue what was going on or why the soldiers actually were interrogating Jake. So yeah, when Jake gets dropped off, he's half dead. And then once they fix him up, they literally take him to a room and start interrogating him. And this is even before we know his name, and he's like, I don't know, I don't remember, I'm not sure what's going on, what? And they're like, yes, you do, don't lie, and I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, what's going on? This poor dude just got dropped off, half dead, and he's like getting interrogated already. I couldn't understand what was going on. This really, to me, is like a low-budget ripoff of Predator. I mean, the alien's invisible, like, most of the movie. Until he actually starts doing one-on-one fights, like apparently they're supposed to. So, I honestly had a hard time getting through this. I paused this probably 5 or 6 times to get up, grab a glass of water, or grab a snack, or, things like that. So it was, this overall, I would give it at least a 3.5 out of 10. This was just a bad movie overall. I would not recommend watching this. Even though it is on, number 6 on Netflix's top 10, it's a hard sell for me. Some people might like it though. If you like it, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the movie overall. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and also subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. Take care for now, everybody.